Let's say what's going on, everybody. Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you live for early signing day coverage all over the internet, all over Twitter, all over Facebook, and everything like that. We got it. Okay. I'm going to read off some tweets today. We'll pull up the scheduled commitments and look at that. Um, Pretty soon, we are supposed to have a guest to start the show up with Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. I did send him the link. We are waiting for him. I told him to take his time and just pop in whenever he's ready. So, but what we are going to do, we are going to take some calls via StreamYard. So I'll drop that link for you guys. And of course, if you want to be a part of the show, just hit that link. We'll talk up your team or whatever you want to talk about, really. But I hope to keep it all recruiting based today, just by preference. So let's start with the scheduled commits. A few have already committed to big time football schools. Auburn has picked up some good commits. Georgia's got some good commits. Alabama, of course. Yeah, DeBoer's still rolling with it. So let's go this layout here. Uh, Tennessee's got some. So Justice Terry is the one that's going to commit in a couple days and sign because it's technically like the early signing period, but a lot of guys they give you like a 3-day window, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong on that. But don't they give you like a 3-day window here to basically sign and sign your letter of intent, which is basically going away, by the way. But Justice Terry is a 5-star defensive tackle, second overall in his position, second in the state of Georgia, and the ninth overall player in the class this year. Isaiah Campbell is a 4-star. He is warm on Tennessee and North Carolina, but he does have a little bit of interest in the top five with Clemson, Alabama, and Auburn. So keep an eye out for those teams there. Definitely want to look at Alabama's class, and we'll talk about it whenever we get Coach Smith on. So, and we'll get him at about 2 p.m. Central Time. So I did kind of go live a little early, but we did agree to bring him on at 2. So about 30 minutes or so into the show, we'll get him on just about. So, but yeah, y'all click that link. I'd love to get some calls, get some insight, and get some reaction. Who is your team? How are they doing in the 2025 class? Let's look at the team rankings here. Let's check this out. Texas, number one. No surprise to me because I think Sark's doing a phenomenal job on the field. Off the field, recruiting 24 commits, 4 5-stars, 14 4-stars, 6 3. They barely, just by a point, plus a few decimal places, beat out Georgia. It's not over yet. We have commits scheduled to commit all day. And then, of course, you'll also have the second period in February. So there's still a good race. There's still a lot of players to commit out there. Georgia number 2, Alabama number 3, Oregon over Ohio State. You talk about the Big Ten. On field performance matters. It does matter. And Ohio State lost to Oregon. They are ahead of Michigan though, but they did lose that game. They did lose that game. Auburn. I want to talk about Auburn a little bit. Tennessee, Florida, LSU, a couple different schools out there. To round out the top 20, 11 4-stars for Nebraska is phenomenal. I got to look at their class. I don't even know who they have. I just want to look at their class, though. But We'll see. Let's check out Nebraska. They interest me here. So Matt Rule, obviously the head coach. Dawson Merritt, the linebacker. Alabama had some interest for him. Cortez Mills is a wide receiver. Malcolm Simpson, a defensive lineman. Christian Jones is a linebacker from Omaha. Sean Hammerbeck is an offensive tackle. TJ Lateef from Orange, California is a quarterback, is a 3-star. Jeremiah Jones, and again, if you're just joining us, we're looking at Nebraska's class. Jeremiah Jones, a safety 3-star. Juju Marks, Pierce Newberry, Cade, uh, Isaac, Bryson Weber, Tyson Terry, Houston. I don't want to pronounce that last name. I don't know if I want to try. Jackson Carpenter is an athlete. They got a lot of defense. Jamarian Parker is a 3-star running back from St. Louis. Tanner Turk is from Littleton, Connecticut. A 3-star athlete. Connor Booth is a 3-star running back. Okay. I like what I'm seeing for Nebraska. I think they're on the right track with Matt Rule. I think he's a good coach. He's getting them wins. 20th overall class right now in 2025 for the Cornhuskers. You got to take that. You just have to, right? I would say. So, and then we look at notable flips so far. We got to talk about that. I get everything recruiting wise from 247 Sports. Nothing against On Three or anything else. Just something, just my personal preference for what I use is 247 Sports. So when you look at the notable flips so far as of 11 a.m. this morning Eastern time, Xavion Hardy is the number one JUCO player from Mississippi State to South Carolina. He flipped. Kyle Johnson, the number 22 corner, I should say, from Houston to Mississippi State. Number 27 safety, Jamari Deloach from Cincinnati to Virginia Tech. Jace Clarizo from Alabama to Michigan State. Thanks a lot, Spartans. Number 30 running back overall. Shane Marshall is the number 32 running back from Minnesota to Georgia Tech. Darian Smith from Tennessee to Auburn. He's the number 46 D lineman. Timothy Merritt, number 55 corner from Miami to Tennessee. And then number 56 corner behind Timothy Merritt, Shamar Arnox is number 56 corner in the whole country from Auburn to Florida State. Grant Grayton is the 77th safety from Minnesota to Kentucky. And then a few more flips that happened even earlier. Nebraska flipped 4-star wide receiver from Oklahoma, Cortez Mills. I've heard a lot about him. He's really, really good. The Ducks were able to keep a 5-star wide receiver, Dallas Wilson. It seemed like the Gators were going to flip Dallas Wilson, but that is not the case at the moment. He signs with the Ducks. Michael Terry, Texas, gets Michael Terry, 5-star recruit, number 1 overall athlete, 6'3", 217 pounds from San Antonio. He said via Horns 247, he talked about Texas. He was interviewed. He said, every time I go up there, it's a family culture. I feel like they have a good plan for me. They are a powerhouse team with very advanced football, and I feel like they can develop me to become the best player I can be. That is what safety Michael Terry, 5-star, had to say about Texas this morning. You got all these flips. Even Texas A&M, who's number 9 in the country, they flipped a 5-star receiver, number 1 player in the state of Utah, number 30 overall prospect in the class. Where did they flip him from? Jerome Miles, 5-star. He flipped. Oh, okay. So he flipped and decommitted from USC. He went back. So the thing about Jerome Miles apparently is he had A&M at first, then he flipped to USC and A&M flipped him back. Talking Texas A&M, of course. And in your top 10 recruiting rankings for 2025, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Texas, Auburn, Oregon, Michigan, LSU, A&M, and Tennessee. You're talking about 7 of the top 10 in recruiting right now are SEC. Just when we thought that the Big Ten had an edge, and I'm not here to diss, not here to show SEC homer bias or anything like that, but this is just as of now. This was like 8 a.m. at least. So maybe it's not now. Let me double check and see if these match up. Georgia number 1, well Texas is number 1. Alabama number 2, Georgia's number 2. Oregon jumped from 6 to 3 or 4, I should say. Ohio State's in there, Michigan's in there. But this morning it was weird cuz you had like 7 of the top 10 were SEC. You got to think about that cuz Texas is now in the SEC. Get used to it, I guess. I'm getting used to it. I think they belong. They're recruiting out of their minds right now. So we'll keep an eye from Chris Hummer updates on 247 Sports. But again, I show you here the actual team rankings as of now. Because what I just read you, don't take my word for it. Don't say that's the current. That was from like 7 a.m. This is now. Texas is at the top. Georgia, Alabama. So your top 3 are SEC. Then you get into the Big Ten. Oregon with 20 commits, 4 of them for 5-star athletes. Ohio State, Auburn, Michigan, A&M, LSU, and Florida. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the top 10 are SEC. And in the Big Ten, you got Oregon and Ohio State. Michigan's up there too. Want to look at Michigan's class here. 22 commits, 7th in the nation. They are still the defending champs at the moment. They're not going to the playoffs this year, but they have signed quite a bit to help hopefully with next year's class. Notably, they did not get a quarterback at least signed. But Bryce Underwood did flip from LSU to Michigan. Was NIL involved? I don't know. But I look at Michigan's class and say, Sharon Moore, doing great. You got guys from Texas. You got 2 guys from Texas. You got 2 from Louisiana, 2 from Georgia, 3 from Florida, and 4 in state. And they've really loaded up on the back end on defense. Shamari Earls highlights as the number 1 player in the state of Virginia, 9th overall corner. I think the big highlight, though, is Andrew Balboa or Babaloa. 5-star offensive tackle, 6'6", 280, second overall offensive tackle, number one in the state of Kansas. He comes in for the Michigan Wolverines. Let me see who this is. We got an Alabama fan back here. I will take this call just real quick. Let me close this ad. A lot for Michigan right here. A lot. I like what they're doing. I really do. Let's bring in this Alabama fan. What's up?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Good. How you feeling about Alabama's class?
Well, we did lose to Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma was not happy about that, but we're doing better first year than we did with Saban, because
Yeah,
Saban lost 6 games his first year. So,
yeah, and here we are with Kalen DeBoer, and they are knocking on the door of possibly the playoffs.
yep. But all we need is SMU to win.
Yeah, that is true. I think you get a three loss Clemson or whatever that didn't win their conference. That would
Mhm.
knock them out if SMU beats them, and that does open up a spot for Alabama, who I will take to account that they might be the best three-loss team in the country. Now, do I think three-loss teams deserve to get in? No. But if you are going to put one in and someone's got to get that 12 spot, you're probably looking at Alabama because their
Yeah.
losses were close and they look like a really good team at times this season because they probably got the best win if you want to say that Georgia game. They don't really
Well,
have the worst loss, though. I mean,
his
Vandy made a ball. Tennessee's good. And then Oklahoma, they're average, but they're not terrible.
yeah, but here's the thing. I see that some people are like, South Carolina should get over Alabama, but who did Alabama beat? Alabama beat South Carolina, which was a top 25 team. They also beat Missouri, LSU, and Georgia. That is four top 25 ranked teams.
Yes. And the thing that people will argue about that, though, and I say this all the time, they say, well, Missouri is struggling right now, and this team and that team or whatever. I'm like, okay, so they're struggling now. Bama can't control what happens to a team after they beat them.
Yeah,
They can't control that. At the time, that Missouri win looked really solid, 34 to nothing.
yeah.
LSU looked solid, 42 to 13. So
And
they
Georgia,
they did what they had to do, I think.
yeah, and Georgia, we beat they we were keep getting touchdowns and touchdowns, and they caught up to us. But like same with Vanderbilt, they kept making touchdowns and touchdowns too, but we caught up. Even though we lost, we still caught up. So, but I think the
Yeah, I
committee,
think the big thing for Alabama is that they never finished the games they lost
yeah,
outside of Oklahoma. I did say that they had close losses. That game was not close. I don't know
yeah,
what happened against Oklahoma other than they just didn't show up. They didn't get off the bus, and it was a tough game, tough loss. Okay, but the Vandy game they didn't finish, and Tennessee they didn't finish.
yeah. But like for the Tennessee game, Alabama, we did not let them score in the first half.
Hmm.
So, but like I think the committee is a great choice. They're like, we can't let the first year that DeBoer is with Bama and not let them in the playoffs.
Well, I'll say this. I think that the talent is there to make a case for being a playoff team. but it's not really talent that the committee's going to look at. And I get what you're saying about, you know, the first year for Kalen DeBoer, he can't make the playoffs. You know, that's unacceptable or something. I get that, but you know, that's that's true. It is unacceptable with what he inherited from Coach Saban, but you're asking him to replace the guy. He's the guy after the guy. He's after Nick Saban. There's a lot of pressure and probably some nerves for him. So I could get that he ends up like struggling. And if he doesn't make the playoffs, he doesn't make the playoffs. We shouldn't write him off. We shouldn't get upset over it. Give him time to build his stuff. Give him
I,
time to work his magic, you know?
yeah, but
So,
I do have to say this though. They're like Alabama shouldn't be giving all these privileges. We do have a new coach, and we have beat 4 unranked teams. So, like, just say if at least we don't have like 6 or 7 losses.
right. It is true. Hey,
Yeah.
bud, thanks for calling the show. I appreciate it. We got a special guest coming on, and he's already in the back room.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. That was a Alabama fan. And speaking of Alabama, we got a very special guest joining the show. If you've heard of him, you probably know him from Mark Rogers, or you're doing what you need to do and you're subscribed to his YouTube channel, Touchdown Alabama. Stephen M. Smith, how are you?
Doing great, Chris. Man, how you feeling? I like the college football background there.
Awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you joining us today to talk up some recruiting, and hopefully we can get some analysis and insight about this college football playoff. You know, people saying that Alabama still has a chance, but when you look at this season, I got to hear from you. What have you noticed from the Tide this season and how their record has ultimately impacted recruiting, especially it being signing day today in the 2025 class?
Oh, absolutely. So we look at this season, Chris, it's been up and down. It's been inconsistent to say the least. With this team, you never quite know which Alabama you're going to get week by week. One week you roll out of bed and you see the Alabama that dominated Wisconsin. You see the Alabama that carved up Kirby Smart the first half against Georgia. You see the Alabama that drug LSU out of Tiger Stadium. And you see that Alabama, but there are other moments where you got out of bed and you watch an Alabama that lay an egg against Oklahoma. You watch an Alabama that goes to Nashville and loses to Vanderbilt, and you see an Alabama that loses to Tennessee. So you really don't know which Alabama you're getting at any given moment. It's been up and down. And the biggest thing about this particular recruiting cycle is these kids want to know, is Bama still Bama? Right? That's what a lot of these kids want to know. That's why so many of them didn't make their decisions early on. They kind of were cautious and held off of making those decisions until they got a clear feeling of, okay, Bama still has remnants of still being the Bama that we all know. And this is the reason why Alabama's been able to rack up a good recruiting class today. When you talk about Keelan Russell, 5-star quarterback signing, you're looking at 4 very good offensive linemen and Mal Waldrop, Micah DeBose, Michael Carroll, Jackson Lloyd, all signing. You got a couple of JUCO defensive linemen that signed, including Steve Umbamoa. You look at the wide receiver, Natsir Brooks, who signed, the 4-star out of New Jersey. Then you got Chuck McDonald and Dijon Lee, 2 very good cornerbacks to sign. So a lot of these kids, Chris, they were just waiting to see, is Bama really still truly Bama? And so once they kind of got a taste of that in the Iron Bowl here recently against Auburn, you saw a lot of these kids go, okay, I feel comfortable now about signing.
Well, they definitely feel comfortable. I think Alabama, like I said, it's been a roller coaster, but I think wins over Georgia have helped DeBoer. I think winning the Iron Bowl has helped. I don't I think we're seeing that the losses have not necessarily hurt outside of maybe I mean it's hurt us this year because we don't know our playoff fate and everything like that. But in recruiting, they still, like you said, they still look at Alabama as a potential threat in college football. And that's going to remain until like further notice, until otherwise. So I do have to ask though, the next question I have for you, is there a Georgia or a non-committed player? Because it looks like Georgia or whoever has the top class right now, but is there like a non-committed player that they could steal today that could boost them potentially to the number one spot as they currently, at least last time I checked, they sit at number 2 or number 3?
Well, right now, Chris, there's nobody Alabama could steal as far as today. I mean, I would like to see a flip of Derek Meadows from LSU to Alabama, the big-time wide receiver. But aside from him, I wouldn't expect a flip or any big move today. I would look at more so toward February. Now, toward February, it could be something. We'll keep our eyes on that because some of these kids are also going to hold off of signing until that first week of February. So at that point, we could see something. But right now, I think Alabama has wrapped it up. They got everybody that they believe they were going to get today.
All right. So, and then when you do look at some of these recruits, and I'll pull this guy up here, but talk to me about Keelan or Keelan. Let me try to make sure I get that right. But Keelan Russell, I think it's Keelan Russell.
Yeah.
But talk to me about this talented 2025 quarterback. What have you heard on him? What have you seen in film or anything like that? And then also, when you look at Alabama, it's a loaded quarterback room. Obviously, we know Jalen Milroe probably going to the draft or something after the season. Obviously, nothing's been announced yet. But then you also look at, Ty Simpson's out there, Austin Mack. This guy committed back on June 4th to Kalen DeBoer. He signed today. What does it mean for Alabama? And what else have you heard about his commitment to the Tide? Especially, it's very interesting just considering our quarterback depth.
Well, Chris, first and foremost, to have a young man that made his commitment to Alabama and never wavered off that. Keelan Russell was all in on Bama from the word go. And to have him pen to paper now is special because of this young man is a 5-star from Duncanville High School. He's got 2 state championships. He's going after a third one. High school football in Texas is some of the hardest, big-time, highest classification of football. And Keelan Russell was in that. I mean, at 6'4", 195 pounds, the man can make all the throws on the field wherever you want him at, layering the ball in there, whether it's short route, intermediate, deep ball game. This young man, incredibly scary, accurate throwing the football. He's got wheels. He can extend plays with his feet, but his main thing is he wants to beat you in the passing game, pocket awareness, footwork in the pocket, the ability to get out of the pocket and still keep his eyes downfield to accurately pinpoint that football. He's just got it. He's got that kind of ability to wow you with his arm ability. And having this type of an athlete on campus at the quarterback position is huge because if he comes in here spring practice, you gotta think he's gonna enroll early. He comes in here spring practice, Chris, and he pushes Ty Simpson, Dylan Larnigan, and Austin Mack to the brink. You gotta think about which one of those guys in that room may end up transferring because that's how good this young man is. He's already saying, I'm coming in here to do something special. I'm coming in here to do something crazy. Win the Heisman, win a national championship. He has already got that right mindset of what he wants to do coming into this program.
And I think he's going to the right place to do all of that too. I really would jump on that train with him. So, talk to me about another recruit. He signed today. He committed back. I want to say it was last month. He took a visit back in June. But talk to me about this Dijon Lee, who's a 5-star corner, 6'4", 190. He's from California. What do you see in a prospect like him? And ultimately, did the Alabama get what they needed in a player like him? Was this a target that maybe they wanted to get in a corner or a safety going into today?
I think they did. You look at Dijon Lee, I mean, lengthy, long, rangy, athletic at 6'4", 190. A kid that you could put him at corner, you could put him at nickel, you could put him at safety, you could put him anywhere on the field. He will make plays out there. Just a rangy athlete. Kind of reminds you a bit of Jalen Mbakwe in terms of the range, in terms of the speed. So I think Alabama got a good get there with Dijon Lee. They also got Chuck McDonald as well out of Modern Day High School in California. Now, Chuck McDonald, the teach tape, the technique on him, maybe a bit better than Dijon Lee, just due to whomever the cornerbacks coach is at Modern Day. He does a phenomenal job having these guys play technique-sound football. You look at what he did with Damani Jackson. Damani is at Alabama as a transfer from USC. You look at what he did with Xavier Brown. Xavier Brown had strong technique all year and turned that into 2 interceptions this season as a freshman. That's why Xavier Brown was able to get on the field so quickly at that cornerback spot. And now you look at a Chuck McDonald coming from that same pipeline, Modern Day High School. They teach pure technique. And I think Chuck McDonald's going to be a star here. But I think Dijon Lee as well, because of his athleticism, his versatility, his length. Could be a corner, could be a safety, could be a nickel guy, wherever he fits into this defensive secondary room.
And then finally, I got to ask you, you look at college football landscape today, it seems as if it has turned in terms of it used to be all about the defense. And now we're seeing that come back a little bit. But there's always a lot of great playmakers out there that you could get. And when you finally look into Alabama's class after today, maybe there's still some time and maybe they could pick up some other guys. But I look at Ackland Deer, I look at Caleb Edwards, who's a tight end. Marshall Pritchett's a tight end. There's Latsier Brooks. What have you seen in this class in terms of offense? You could even tackle the offensive line if you want, but especially the playmakers that they've been able to get just to continue to put that product on the field at this program.
Well, Brooks, first and foremost, that guy's a vertical playmaker. That guy can go out there and snatch the football, smooth route runner. He can go up and snatch the football. And you need that vertical guy in that receiver room that can get up and down the field. So I really like Brooks. Pritchett as the tight end, Marshall Pritchett, that dude is different. Not just as a blocking tight end, but he runs routes like a wide receiver. It's going to be very intriguing to see the battle that Brian Ellis, tight ends coach, and Jamarcus Shepard, wide receivers coach, will have. Which coach will keep him? Will he be kept with the tight ends, or will Jamarcus Shepard go, no, I want you in this receiver room, Pritchett. Bring your tail over here. That guy is that guy's a weapon. That guy's a pure weapon. And then you look at, Ackland Deer, running back out of Mississippi. Going to be intriguing to see where he fits in this running back room because he kind of carries the same style as Daniel Hill, another back that Alabama got from Mississippi in last year's class. He kind of favors Daniel Hill a little bit. So we'll see how Deer fits into this running back room. But I was more so pleased, Chris, with this offensive line that Bama brought in. Bama brought in some dudes up front. And I know people are looking at, what about Ty Haywood? Can Alabama get him? I think he's going to end up going to Michigan because I think Michigan's going to drop that NIL bag on him. But even with that being the case, you still get Jackson Lloyd. You still get Mal Waldrop. You still get Micah DeBose. You still get Michael Carroll. You still got a strong line. you still have a legit line. And then not to mention, Bama could also attack the portal. Keep in mind, the portal opens on next Monday. The portal window opens next Monday. It closes December 28th. Alabama can attack the portal for some offensive tackles. So I think even if you don't get Ty Haywood, it's not a detriment. You still brought in a good line with the four guys that you have. You've recruited offensive linemen in the two previous classes. And then if you're trying to get more stability at tackle, you're going to attack the portal.
And we know Alabama loves to do that. Let them know where they can find you. That's really all I got for you, man. I love your show. Y'all go check out Touchdown Alabama. Steven, let them know where they can find you and anything else you want to throw out there as far as recruiting for the Tide here in 2025.
Well, people can find me. It's on the banner there, Coach and M. Smith on X, Twitter, whatever it is now. At Coach and M. Smith right there, you can find me. I have a site, touchdownalabama.com, touchdownalabama.com. We are flooding the whole thing with the signing day information. And, of course, Alabama in this playoff, people are jumping up and down. Miami should have been in. South Carolina should have been in. My grandma should have been in. Look, Bama got in. Deal with it. Bama's number 11. The committee chair, Ward Manuel, has explained how and why Bama got into it. So all you got to look at now, SMU, pony up and handle business this weekend. Take care of Clemson. So Alabama can project to go to Notre Dame and look at the Golden Dome and take care of the Irish up there. But recruiting is going to be very crazy, especially when we get into February, if some flips could happen. But I think right now, Alabama is sold on the guys that was able to get today. Very pleased with the papers faxed in with those letter of intents that they got today.
Awesome. Coach Smith, thank you, brother. Love the show. Appreciate you. And hopefully we can catch up again soon.
Absolutely. Hey, Chris, you take it easy, man. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine coming on here. Not the best of interviews on my end, but at the same time, I love getting to talk to him, man. Getting some good insight. Y'all go hit him up on Twitter, Coaching M. Smith. And what we're going to do too, we're going to look at Ackland Deer, who did commit to Alabama today. We're going to look at his highlights. He's class of 2025, one of the top running backs from Quitman High School in Mississippi. We're going to break down his film, a lot more to talk about here on the show. No, I'm not getting off, Nate. I am going to drop the link again. If anyone wants to call the show, feel free to. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get into Ackland Deer. Ackland Deer is a 4-star, 5-star, whatever you want to look at it. He's a stud. Film breakdown, committed to Bama, signed today. And when you look at Ackland Deer from Quitman, Mississippi, he's 6'1", 200, even 200 pounds, 4-star technically. He did have a chance to go to Ole Miss, but he decided to stay with Alabama. He got many offers from teams like Arizona, Auburn, Buffalo, Colorado. I could go down the list. We're going to look at some of his film today and talk it up because I love to review recruits, but also at the same time, you gotta see this kid for yourself. I've only seen small clips of it, but at the same time, you know, there's a lot more I could watch. So, without further ado, Ackland Deer, Alabama commit. They're in the backfield, handoff. Good blocking. I credit the O line. You always need that, and you need speed. He's got it. It's kind of one of those moments right there that I think you kind of fake the defense out if you're the quarterback. So I credit the quarterback because the quarterback, Ackland Deer, is going to cut upfield at the top of the screen. Quarterback going to move out to the bottom of the screen, thinking he's got the ball. You got a couple guys here chasing the quarterback a little bit, but then they kind of notice, oh, wait, Deer's got the ball, and he just takes off. Huge hole, touchdown. Whoa. I kinda noticed he did a spin move there. He bounced off one tackle, he spun around, he found an open hole, nothing but green grass ahead. Here's the direct snap, and he's off to the races. What do you got? What do you got? He's running like someone's trying to take his lunch money is what he's running like, and I like that. It's good speed, good acceleration too. Watch him off the edge, break that tackle, but notice when he gets the ball in his hands, he starts off fast, but then he just gets faster. Makes a cut, makes the man miss. This is what you want in a running back. Size is a question mark right now for me personally, but at the same time, I like the talent that I'm seeing. Again, how do you get out of this? Are y'all watching this? Hold up. Okay, pause. Take a deep breath. This guy literally spins out of tackles. He literally is looking at these tackles. He's wrapped up like you're doing your best as a defensive tackle. Ackland Deer sees this and he spins out and can cut loose up the field. This is incredible. Absolutely amazing. Look at this. Look at this. Fighting to the end zone. They had to drag him in. See you catch. Oh, wow. He's just so fast, man. He's like got all this power, direct snap here. A little small, but like in size, but it doesn't matter. He's got the talent. Oh, he's breaking ankles now. He's making good jukes and cuts. Oh, he just jumped that. What? Did y'all see this? Did y'all see that? Check this out. Not sleep timer. Hold on. I think I rewind too far. you got? What you got? Did he seriously run backwards and cut back upfield? He probably scored on that play too. They didn't show if he did. Wow. There he goes in the passing game. Good blocking. Oh, good blocking. He just makes man miss. That's what he does. He does it best. All right. So, overall assessment after watching the film. Love this running back. He could use a little bit more, like in the weight room. Looks like he could beef up a little bit. His size could be an issue on the college level, definitely on the NFL level, but he's very talented. He's poised, he's fast, he's electric with the football. The way his movement is, it's not even just running upfield. You saw him in there kind of juking some guys out, spinning. He does it all. Ackland Deer signed with Alabama today on signing day, December 4th, 2024. He looks phenomenal. I love what I saw. I'll give him a chance. I say, man, he could be a starting running back someday. I don't know if he's going to stick around for Alabama too long. I don't know what he's looking for, but you know, he's a stud. That's all I can say. So credit to Ackland Deer. Great highlights. And I think he's going to be really good on the next level in college football. FSU flips 4-star from Georgia. Interesting. That's at 2:40 just a few minutes ago. Florida State got some much needed positive news when 4-star running back Uzmain Chroma flipped from Georgia to the Seminoles on Wednesday afternoon. Chroma took a pair of visits to see FSU in November and ultimately flipped away from his home state Bulldogs. Chroma ranks as the number 117th overall player, number 4 running back in the 2025 class. Javion Hilson picked Missouri over Syracuse, Pitt, Michigan, Texas, and Texas A&M. This is a 4-star edge rusher. He was also committed to Florida State earlier in the cycle. The 69 overall player, number 6 edge in the class. And again, rankings updating pretty much by the hour, I would say. This last updated at 2 p.m. Central Time. Texas at the top, Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State, Auburn, and Michigan in the top 7. Nate, what's up?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Doing good.
How about Michigan? What do you like? What do you like so far? 2 5-stars.
Yeah.
Although I only see one listed. Hold on, let me
Well,
find the other one. Oh,
there you go.
Underwood committed, but he has to sign. But
Right.
Andrew
Yeah.
Babaloa, the offensive tackle I had
Hmm.
talked a little bit about earlier, he did sign.
Yeah. And look, I don't care what Lou and Pete say. They say that Sharon Moore doesn't know what he's doing. I think that's complete false. I think he's building something there at Michigan. Now, for recruiting wise, also yes, we had a really bad season. I mean, everybody thought will be a terrible season. So I mean, anyways, the point is that we're trying to make is I think Michigan and Sherrod Moore's building something there. I think he's going to be a really good coach, or hope so. I think, this is. Keep in mind, this is like the first time, first time in a while that we had two 5-stars since I don't know, like late 2010s, like 2016 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Dawson Merritt's the best one. You're a Nebraska fan too. They got some good guys. Cortez Mills and Dawson Merritt. Dawson Merritt had a lot of offers, but he chose Nebraska, of course. I want to see. Oh, he picked us up. He picked you over us,
Oh
over
wow.
Alabama. He had Oklahoma in there too, but the averages for the experts, Tom Loy said he would go to Nebraska. He did. He signed today, but he had a 12.5% interest in Alabama.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Also, remember what we said about Matt Rule. Second year. Well, also, I think. I don't know if the sign is Michigan signs or a linebacker. I think just now. I think maybe it's just a while ago, but anyways, I was gonna say that I think how people said Matt Rule's gonna like his records, first record in his first season, right? It's not that good. And the second season is decent, and the third season is supposed to be really, really good. Like what he did in Baylor, 11-4 or 11-3, I don't know. So yeah, hopefully that's a man. Imagine Nebraska in the College playoff next year, but that's next year. Anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited for these teams that I like. Now I want to see. I haven't checked out Bryce Underwood that much for this film. I bet he's the best of the business.
He's good. He really is.
Yeah, I
He's
haven't
good.
seen stats or not stats, film, but I believe he's really good. But do you think for next year that you think Sherrod Moore's kind of like what Matt Rule did with Dylan Raiola, start him right away, or is he gonna find a quarterback from the transfer portal? Then what do you think? Like, you think he's gonna
I
start?
think Underwood. I think if he's smart, he would start Underwood.
Okay.
If he's smart enough, he would start Bryce Underwood. Because I
I think
think
he's
Bryce is
smart
really
enough.
good. I think he's generational. He's generational, man.
Yeah, like you said, I believe it. And but the thing is, I haven't, like I said, I haven't been checking out his film. But if you can, what you not compare, but what does he remind you of? What quarterback from college that way he plays? I guess I know he hasn't played in college yet, but
Who does Bryce Underwood make me think of? Oh, the way he moves, he makes me think of Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So
The way he throws, I'm not sure. Maybe Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Well, Cam Newton was basically was Cam Newton like a strong arm and running quarterback? Probably. I don't know. Yeah, that's
He
why I
was
don't really
strong
do
arm and
comparisons. But
mobile. He was, he was. Cam Newton was really good.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Although he was at Auburn, your rival. I still can't believe they won that title in that year. Or I don't know. It doesn't make sense in my mind. But anyways, um, but yeah, I hopefully this is the start of the Coach Moore recruiting era, and the seems to me he's doing pretty well in recruiting. In my mind, what do you think about that? I mean,
Who is it?
Coach Moore for recruiting wise.
Oh, oh no, he's doing great recruiting wise. He just needs to get it together on the field.
Yeah, yeah.
I
All
mean,
due
he's
respect,
number 7 in the class, number 7 ranked class in the recruiting rankings. He's got 22 commitments. 2 of them are 5
yeah,
stars. That's phenomenal. That's great. But
yeah,
like I always say every single year on signing day, what good is it that you have these players if you can't put it on the field and do
right.
something with it?
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, we had a bad season. I will say that. Um, I think it has to do with, like everybody said, our most of the talent are gone. So can't really, well, you can't blame Michigan for that, but kind of saying both, you can't really blame him. I don't know. We just didn't have a lot of talent on our team this year. That's all I say. Because we, 7-5. Um, I think that's probably one of the worst Michigan teams that I ever seen. Well, I've seen worse before, but um, yeah, I think if like I said, if more uh, bumps up the also he did fire his office coordinator. I think Michigan's trying to get office coordinator. I did see one of the one YouTube channels that Mike Loxley could be a good one, or I don't know, or the LSU defense, no, LSU offensive coordinator from LSU. I don't know, but yeah, I just can't wait for this recruiting class to be good or hopefully good. um, but yeah, it's right now it's doing the right direction for recruiting, but it has to be on the field though, like you said.
Yeah.
I still think that Michigan's going to beat Ohio State next year. I know that I thought that I talked that early, but yes. Um, now about Ohio State, um, you think that like everyone's saying that if Ryan Day gets fired, or no, not yet. If Ryan Day gets out of the playoffs, the first round is right. I hopefully he stays because I'm a Michigan fan. But to be real, the guy is horrible. Well, not horrible, like horrible at big games. What I meant.
Yeah.
Um, but everything else he's pretty good at. But big games is not. But it wouldn't shock me if he fired. But I would love him to stay around. But yeah, everyone says who would you get? I don't think Urban Meyer is going to go back to Ohio State. Some Ohio State fans want Urban Meyer back. Jeez. I mean, yes, he was a really good coach, or a really great coach at Ohio State. Don't get me wrong. And he actually beat Michigan too. Not to say less,
Yeah.
but what would you say if that happens? Now, that's probably my worst nightmare if that happens, or am I back to Ohio State? You think he's kind of too old for coaching, or is he? What do you think? Because I don't know. I think he should be done with coaching, in my opinion.
Who should be done?
Urban Meyer. Like I said,
Oh yeah, no, he's needed to be done for a long time. Um, he's done. I think he is done, and I think that he should be done.
yeah, that's why I said. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'll agree with you. I think he's just done with the coaching, but like I said, somehow State fans want him back because they want to beat Michigan. But come on, they gotta be real. Ermeyer's probably done with coaching. I mean, like you said, but uh, maybe actually wait is what's his name for head coach of Notre Dame?
Marcus Freeman.
Oh yeah, Marcus Freeman was he a Ohio State player, right?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, alum player, former player. I mean, he's doing good this year. Uh, but the thing is, I don't know if he got extended or just. I think that'd be a good fit for Ohio State, but at the same time, if Ryan Day gets fired, but I don't know. But yeah, it's. Hey, Ballard, can we look at the? I don't know if the bowl projection or the bowls or the bowl games got out. Does that get out the next week? I think the bowl
Yeah,
games. Okay.
yeah, that'll be Sunday. Should be Sunday.
All right. I was gonna ask if we think what I know Nebraska should have won against Iowa, but lost. But what do you think Nebraska what's the word? A good opponent for Nebraska for a bowl game. Also bowl. I think Oklahoma, to be honest.
Yeah, they could play Oklahoma.
Plus a rivalry game, but it's still a bowl game.
Remember the Citrus Bowl?
Citrus Bowl. I was gonna say Duke's Mayo Bowl.
I think that's ACC and well, I don't know.
Okay. Dang it. There should be a Cornhusker Bowl.
Yeah,
But anyways, yeah, I would love that rivalry back, but in bowl game or something. But um, hey, just to let you know, Ballard. I'm not trying to brag or anything. Speaking of Nebraska, guess what their all-time records against the SEC? It's kind of pretty good,
I
actually.
know. It's
Um,
500.
yes, it's above 500 to be honest. It's 27 wins and 11 losses, which is really good in my opinion. I think most of those wins was in the 1990s though. But and yeah, I can't wait for the Nebraska Tennessee game in 2026. I was so sad about BVD not able to go to that game for Nebraska and the Voltards in 2026. But yeah, I just want to come on here and just say that Michigan's, I think, in my opinion, heading in the right direction for recruiting because they haven't done in the top 10 or top 10 in a while. But yeah, Have a good day, Ballard, and happy holidays.
All right. Thanks, Nate. Appreciate it. Yep. A lot more to talk about, or that we could talk about. I don't really have much else planned. Appreciate Stephen M. Smith coming on today. Coach Smook, what's up, brother? Mayhem, Cody Hankins, Nate came on. Who else do we have in the chat? C. Bama and Steve Pearson. Love and appreciate you guys showing up today, man. Showing some love. Let's see. What else could we talk about recruiting? We can pull up commitments. Sean Leonard is a kicker to Kent State, no ranking. Let's see. What's Clemson doing? That's actually, hold on. Clemson 2025 commits. They got 1 5-star. Amari Adams from Florence, South Carolina, 6'3", 290 defensive lineman. Gideon Davidson is a running back. Braden Jacobs, an offensive tackle. Dabo's doing pretty good. He's got him at 26. They could do a little bit better, but at the same time, I give Clemson some credit, man. They're trying to rebuild some stuff. Logan Brooking is a tight end. Carlton Preston is a wide receiver. Marquise Henderson is a running back. So they got 2 4-star running backs in this class. That's good. Any quarterbacks? Chris Denson. Oh, no way. 3-star. Are you kidding me? Tell me he's got highlights somewhere. Look at this. Recruited by Garrett Riley. The reason I want to highlight this guy, Chris Denson, is from Plant City, Florida, down where my parents are, home of the Plant City Raiders. 2025 class. He's 6'1", 175. Clemson gets him today. He signed. This is pretty cool. And then, yeah, this is cool. Chris Denson is a quarterback. I haven't watched his highlights or anything, but let's check this out. (2023) junior season highlights. Can I find him on YouTube? Okay, I found him on YouTube. Let's go. I'm going to clip this. This is so good. Clemson currently ranked 26 in 2025 recruiting rankings. Christian Ballard Sports Media. But what I noticed, we got to look at this quarterback from, guess where? Plant City, Florida, where my parents are and where I grew up. We got to talk about this. Chris Denson is a 2025 quarterback in this year's class, signed today with Clemson here on December 4th, 2024. And of course, we want to look at his highlights. What is he made of? We talk about it. He's 6'2", 185. This is from Quick Cut on YouTube. And we'll talk it up. We'll watch and react here. Let's go, Chris. Here he is. Good ball placement so far. He escapes there. Kind of jukes out a little bit. Again, he's a 3-star quarterback. Not the best of size. but he looks very athletic so far. Good placement. Good placement. I love it. Oh, he can sling it. He's a gunslinging quarterback. Let's go. Goes deep. Good ball placement, I'm noticing. And he gets out of the pocket very well, too. His O-line helps him out a lot. Gives him good protection. Gives him good comfort in the pocket there. Look at him escape. What is this? What are you doing? Let's go. He's very mobile with his legs, too. I like this. Wow. Going dimes. I want to see if this guy handles pressure in his face, because we see him escaping the rush. I want to see a play, hopefully, where it's in his face. Look at how fast he got that out. What? Back this up. Did you see this? Y'all watching this? Look at this. 1, 2. Not even 2 seconds after the ball snapped and he takes the handoff. He gets it out quick. I cannot wait to see this kid in college. Clemson, you're getting a stud here. This is good. He's only a 3-star too, man. His size is not all the best, but this guy looks like he's got a lot of potential. Look at this. Chris Denson, 2025 quarterback from Plant City, Florida. He's so fast, man. It's like the ball knows where to go. He's very mobile. Quarterback draw here. Good read up the middle. Good read. I see a lot of good things in this player. All right, this is 8 minutes long. Let's fast forward here. Let's see what he does here. Dumps it off. Keep it himself. Slides down. Good. I love this. Absolutely love this. I think Chris Denson out of Plant City, Florida, 2025 recruit, has a lot of potential, has a future in football. Love what I'm seeing. I think if any disadvantage right now, it's really just his size. Again, I could be wrong. I mean, he's 6'1 and a half, 175. I say get in the weight room, start working out a little bit more. Get a couple inches on you or whatever. Get a little taller, get a little bit more built, and you'll be ready for the next level. But Garrett Riley recruited him. Dabo Swinney, the head coach. Clemson needs that quarterback. I love Cade Klubnik. He's really, really good, but how much longer does he have? He's only got like a year or two left. So they need to start building some more depth at quarterback, I think. I know they still got Christopher Vazina, but Chris Denson, he looks very mobile and serviceable. Almost makes me think of a Jalen Hurts. Like I said, it's size, man. That's a big thing when it comes to being a quarterback and a football player on the big stage. I think he just keeps working on his size, keep working out, keep going to the weight room. I think he got a really good chance. Again, this is Chris Denson from Plant City, Florida, my hometown, Plant City High School, the Raiders. So again, I'm sorry I couldn't get a player on today. We were going to get 3-star quarterback Jason Wright of this year's class. We were going to get him on. We're going to try to connect with him soon and get him on the show sometime. But we did enjoy having Stephen M. Smith on. We're going to clip that. We're going to clip a few things from today. This is a good show. Love signing day. Love the recruits. Absolutely. Congratulations go out to all the 2025 commitments for going to their dream school and the school of their choosing that they got recruited by. Shout out to all the coaches of high schools and colleges, obviously, for the way they're recruiting. This is a good year for recruiting, I think. And college football, man, it's something special. Something really special. Anyway, so I think that's going to do it. I'm going to be going to my church cafe soon. Not too far off from that. Got a lot of stuff to clip from today. Love you guys. Jesus loves you. God bless. Thanks so much for showing up today and calling in, a couple of you. And appreciate Stephen M. Smith for coming on the show today to talk up Alabama recruiting. I love y'all. God bless. From a Bama fan, roll tide. Merry Christmas and happy holidays too. I love y'all. We'll see ya.